What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Stock Hustle channel with your boy William. Today is Tuesday, October 19th, 2021. As always, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys that tune in to watch my videos. Show me support, leave comments, likes, all the nice messages I get of appreciation for the videos. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please don't think for 1 second I don't pay attention to that or I don't see that. I can assure you I read each and every one of your guys' messages, comments, tweets, DMs, and I just want to again give thanks for that appreciation and support that you guys give me. It feels really good to know people are appreciating the content I'm trying to put out to try to help people as best as I possibly can. Please remember, on this channel we are giving financial education, not financial advice. I am a true believer. You don't have to slave 9 to 5. You can simply hustle 24/7 in the market and make better financial choices for yourself in the long run and be more profitable if you so choose to, of course, right? It's all with the work and how much work you want to put into something, right? You get out what you put in, as they always say, or as I was always told as a kid. But without further ado, let's get into it, guys. So today's ticker is going to be KLIC, KLIC and Sofa Industries. As you guys see from this chart, this is on the 1 year, 1 day chart. I have it extended out a little bit past that, actually. So this is a full year scope. You see right here is September, October, essentially giving us a full 12-month gauge of KLIC for this ticker. So what are the first things we see from this ticker before I get into what they do and all the good things and bullish things that I found on them? First and foremost, pay attention to this pink line. This is a trend line that I drew up on the chart that has been very respected essentially over the last year up until most recently within the last 2 weeks. Specifically looks as of October 4th, let's call it the 1st, is when we officially broke this trend that we respected over the last year, which has netted, if you were an investor of KLIC a year ago, you've essentially enjoyed an 83% return on your money. Meaning if you invested $1,000, you made $830 total in profit just off of this ticker. Now, does that mean that it's done? No. Do I feel that there is more potential in this ticker? Absolutely, and I'm going to explain why. So, first and foremost, what is KLIC? So, if we go into Nasdaq and we go down into summary, they always like to give good brief descriptions of what kind of tickers you're looking at specifically, or one that I like to use. Specifically, I'm going to point out the following. Is a United States-based company that is principally engaged in designing, manufacturing, and selling capital equipment and expendable tools that are used to assemble semiconductor devices. So, what has been going on in 2021? Chip shortages. Why? Because semiconductors are having struggle trying to produce the amount of chips that we need for EV, battery, etc., etc., etc. So, this is not a semiconductor play. This is a play involving semiconductors, right? Because they produce and manufacture the tools semiconductors need to make the chips, right? So think in your head before we do anything else. With the chip shortages, there's a lot of money going into semiconductors to produce more chips. What are they going to need? More equipment. Where is that equipment going to come from? KLIC and Sofa Industries, right? Kind of tie 2 and 2 together. Real quick synopsis. If that's all you wanted to get out of the video, you are free to go. Thank you for tuning in. But for those of you that are still interested in hearing more, let's take a look. The company operates through 2 core segments. Capital equipment, which produces and sells series of ball bonders, which produces and offers variations expendable tools designed for multiple semiconductor packaging applications, right? So essentially, again, this is a semi play, but it is actually categorized as a manufacturer play, right? So please keep that in the back of your mind. This is a different sector from some of the other semi plays that I've already reviewed or made videos on. Now, let's get into the fundamentals of the stock and the ticker, right? We've already established the trend line that's been respected over 12 months. Let's take a look at the RSI. We are looking to come up close on essentially exiting a selling period. As you see that the orange line is getting ready to converge over the blue line. Today, you do see this nice green candle essentially almost forming completely over the SMA, simple moving average for those my newbies. Which is a bullish sign always. If we were to get essentially another candle formulated here, let's see if I can draw a little square. I think a square would probably be a better representation. So if tomorrow, for example, we were to get a nice candle like this, I'll actually even make it green for you guys so it gives you a better visual. formulated completely over this white line running underneath it, that is always a bullish sign anytime you are investing in the stock market. Please keep that in mind. You see that the RSI is, or was currently, essentially since October 1st through essentially October 18th, was in oversold. Anytime you see a play in oversold, that is a huge buying opportunity, as long as you can find some catalyst and some good info on a stock that would lead you to believe that it has the potential to run up. This ticker does have the potential to run up, and I'll explain why. And then on the ATR, you see essentially a $4.96 swing. You can double check me on that, because that's $2.48, $2.48, that's $4.96. Anyways, as you can tell, I'm on one today. But that's kind of the fundamentals of the chart that you see for KLIC. Now, why am I so bullish and why am I so excited to talk about this play? Well, let's get into that too. So first and foremost, I want to point out a couple things. KLIC recently increased the dividend by 21%. That is always a bullish sign. When they're willing to pay out their investors more money, that is something you always need to pay attention to. Number two, there are some huge price targets on this ticker, right? So first and foremost, we're trading essentially today, what is that, 51.90? You see right away the Street Quant rating has a huge rating on this specifically. Where was it? I believe it was 75. I'm literally looking, price target 72.19. So that right there is essentially a 20+% increase just that they're giving for KLIC, right? Now, we don't ever formulate our opinion based on one sole place, but with these price target, you need to keep in mind a couple things. Why they may have formulated this price target. You see this white arrow down here? This white arrow is representing, to you guys that are watching this video, the last time KLIC missed on earnings. They were expected to report a 31% or 31 cent earnings, and they actually missed at 29 cents. This was the last time they missed on earnings. Every single earnings since then, leading up to earnings coming up, they have not missed. Now, they are still due to report earnings. However, if they were to smash earnings like they have in previous reportings, that is going to be a super bullish sign for this ticker. A lot of you may be looking at this and be like, well, why the hell did it sell off essentially from 74 down to 50? I'll get to that too. So let's go into Nasdaq. I always like to go into Nasdaq to give you guys another price target that I found in here. They are rating this a strong buy. So this is now two different ratings from two different places with strong buys. 4 analysts reviewing this specifically, and they are giving an estimated price target of a high of 100, average of 87, and a low of 78. Well, this is the way I look at it anytime I'm making an investment choice for myself, right? If all the price targets that I can find out there are way higher than the ticker price is currently at, that to me is a super bullish sign, right? Because I'd rather have more people guessing or thinking that a stock is going to run up versus having some thinking it will and some thinking it won't, right? Right now, every single price target we've reviewed up to now, and I've given you 4 total at this point, or 5 technically, are all well above the current price of $51.90. So at $100, that's a double up. At 87, you're looking at a 46% return. At 78, you're looking at a little bit above 25% return, which to me, money is money as long as you're getting it, right? Money's not a problem unless you don't have any. That's when it becomes a problem. Keep that in the back of your mind as well. So that is what I found for this. So as far as why you see this major sell-off starting on September 10th, leading all the way essentially to October 15th. So I did do some digging and I did find this SEC form filing for an 8K. Now, anytime in the stock market you see companies have leadership changes in their CEO, their VPs, their directors, blah, 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 it is always seen as a super negative catalyst. And retail, or a lot of institutional investors, do not like instability in leadership team of companies. 9 times out of 10, when you see a major change come, what ends up happening is you see rundowns in stocks. Specifically, they did have Shia Zamir, Vice President of Global Operations and Supply Chain, actually step down. Notified the company of his intention to resign his position effective December 31st, 2021. This was just the filing, right? Now, his resignation was not a result of a disagreement with the company or any matter relating to company operations, policies, or practices. That's a super good sign to see. Potentially, this gentleman may have said, you know what, I've made enough money, I'm good, I'm out, I quit. I mean, that potentially could have happened. We honestly won't ever know. No information was given other than this SEC filing. But just know, anytime you do see leadership changes, it is very common to see companies run down. So, looking at institutional ownership of who owns KLIC, let's take a look. You see in quarter 2, there were 732 million shares bought only 223 million sold. Now, when I went through this, I like to see who's holding it, right? I want to look for big players that I know, or big funds that I know own a lot of other big stocks, right? You see, of course, Vanguard, you see Geo Capital, another big name. Northern Trust is the one you see out there. Charles Schwab, everybody knows. T. Rowe Price. But Soros Capital, again, another big one. JP Morgan Chase. There are a lot of big players in this play because, again, it is ranked high in the manufacturing sector specifically. But one of my favorites that I was happy to see is Renaissance Technologies, probably one of the greatest hedge funds out there and producing massive returns. They are a participant in this play as well. Bank of America is in there as well. Specifically, when it was in relation to the sector, where was that? I want to say they said it was ranked in the top 20%. I'll pin this in the details of my video below so you guys can go through it. They did have a high ranking. All right, here we go. Factor of growth, they got 5 stars. Total return, 2.5 stars. Efficiency, 4.5 stars. Price volatility, 4.5 stars. Solvency, money, 5 stars. And income, 3.5 stars. Specifically going back into the earnings or into the review, let's take a look at their earnings because this is something I did want to show you guys. I had explained to you guys that the last year, September, isn't the last time that they missed on earnings. This gives you a better visual. As you see, this is where they missed. They expected to report 31 cents. They only reported 29. It was a 6% miss. However, since then, expected 76, reported 86. Expected $1.20, reported $1.26. Expected $1.36, reported $1.87. And now leading up to the earnings that are coming up here in the next month or so. It'll be very interesting to see if they can continue this upward trend that is going to be smashing earnings for them, which is going to give them even more momentum going in. Now that we've established the leadership change, it wasn't anything major, it wasn't a scandal, it wasn't anyone cheating or doing anything illegal. Number one. Number two, having consistent earnings now for 12 rolling months is a super bullish sign. Increasing the dividend 21% is another super bullish sign. As you guys can see up here, according to Zacks Investment Research, they have a 3 rating on them. 3 rating for Zacks, and for those of you that do not know, is a hold, right? So they're telling their investors to hold the stock. Going in through articles to try to find some quick catalysts, I did find this article that was pretty interesting. So while 5G will require leading edge semiconductors in order to work, those chips will also need to be packaged in a new and innovative way with accelerators and memory. That's where KLIC SOFA, KLIC, comes in, a leader in wire bonding machines that enable semiconductor advanced packaging. KLIC will not only benefit from the shortage of the semiconductor production capacity this year and next, but 5G and other advanced applications will also require increased packaging intensity, further expanding K&S's market. So this is not only a manufacturer helping semiconductors, it is also considered a player in the 5G space based on their industry and based on the things that they can do. The most bullish thing I probably found is that currently they have an addressable market of 3.5 billion in 2021. That is expected to grow to 5.5 billion by 2024. That is almost a double up in their addressable market or their total potential earnings, right? That is always going to be a bullish sign you want to look for as well, is not only how much have they made up till now, but what else can they make moving forward, right? So looking forward, it still has potential to be bigger, right? Management expects more than $6 in earnings per share in 2024. KLIC SOFA also has a lot of extra cash, and this was interesting too, with over 600 million in cash with no debt. Super bullish sign you want to see in a company when a company has no debt and a lot of money on hand. Why? You can make acquisitions, you can do share buybacks, meaning if you have 1 million shares out there, you can buy half back, for example, and everybody's shares are worth more money. There's a lot of things you can do with that money if you need to try to help propel your company forward or higher, right? Always something you want to think about when you see a company that you're looking at. If they have cash and no debt, super bullish. You always want to be on the lookout for that. Yes, sales are booming thanks to the current shortage. Correct, as we've already discussed. That might cool off in a bit. However, management has also been very conservative with its year's guidance too. Should K&S step up and do a share repurchase, which I just mentioned, right? So this was super bullish to see. This did make me even more excited, to be honest, in KLIC. But as always, guys, I always like to leave you with one last little tidbit, which is the options chain, right? And my favorite tool unusual whales. I did go in and take the liberty of looking up the options chain, trying to find something dynamic or crazy, or hoping to see something super bullish. That has not yet happened, because when you go in and look at the options chain specifically, and we'll reset it just so you guys see, there is no manipulation here. In full transparency, you put in the ticker KLIC, and what do you see? You see 497,000 on the call side, 116,000 on the put side. So obviously more bullish than bearish. When we go into the charts, again, look at, base the information we've already seen in this video on all the websites we reviewed. Think of the price targets, right? It's long-term price targets. It's not tomorrow, it's not next week, it's not next month, right? This probably wouldn't be a candidate for a short-term option play per se, but I am super bullish on establishing a position and going long on it, right? Based on the information that I see, I am comfortable establishing a position. When I do finally open my position, which will more than likely be tomorrow morning or the day after, I will post it on Twitter or my IG. Please remember, I do now have a dedicated IG specifically for Stock Hustle. You can always tune in there as well to see what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and what I'm doing. Again, I don't fee anybody. I don't Patreon you. I don't ask anybody for money. My channel is 100% free, and it's going to stay that way, because again, that's not the purpose that I'm here for. I'm here to try to help people make more money, not take money away from people, right? And I want it to stay that way. That's the way I want to do my channel, and that's the way it's going to be, damn it, as they say. But as always, guys, I think you guys get the point. If you have questions, leave it down in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, as it does help with the channel's growth. You can always hit me up on Twitter and IG, and I will catch you guys in the next one.